What is up, movie masters? Welcome back to a new video. Today we got another good one for you guys. So you guys remember my last video, the Cuphead episodes ranked, yeah? Well, guess what? That was season 1. Today we're into season 2. That's right, guys. Today we're going to be ranking all episodes of season 2 of the Cuphead Show. And there's one extra episode there's one more episode than last time, so you know, it's gonna be a special one. And, yeah, now I haven't watched all the episodes for this. No, I have not. I'm going off of memory and everything I remember. So, if I ever rewatch the episodes and do, like, a redo video, maybe, there probably could be some differences. Most likely not. But, yeah, so, we're gonna be ranking all of Season 2. And get ready, because next video, I'm gonna be talking about a movie idea of mine, or show idea of mine, and then probably after that I'll do some ranking and stuff like that. And get ready, because you know what? I'll record this on my own with the little Halloween announcement, or should I say, it's time to get ready for Howllllaween. Why do I call it Halloween? Well, wolves howl at the moon, and that's the best I can come up with. Also, I look for my black hawk jacket, but this is the best I could find in short notice, so yeah, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that for the entire October, every year, I'm going to have this thing called Howllllaween, where we talk about, for the entire month, horror stuff. We review horror movies. We review horror shows. We talk about my own horror movies and shows. And we have a whole day for that, too. And don't worry, for the Master Reaction fans, too, and G.C.A. Studios, that was for G.C.A. Studios, but for Master Reactions, we're going to be reacting to Try Not to Get Scared clips, some scary stuff, some shorts that's going to make me jump and scared, because I hate jump scares. We're going to be reacting to a lot of that stuff, too, and reviewing horror stuff. So get ready, because for the entire October, it's going to be Halloween month. And yeah, it's gonna be good. Look forward to that every year. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Yeah. Yeah. Halloween is gonna be good. But enough of me talking. Let's get into ranking the Cuphead episodes season 2 right now, because I made a 34-minute video last time, and we're gonna try to go for shorter, even though it's longer episodes. We're gonna try to go for shorter. Alright, so starting off with number 13. Let's start this list, okay? Starting off with number 13 at the bottom of the list for season 2. It's gotta be, for me, Piano Lesson. I can't even like this episode. Like, I literally can't even like it. It's just so boring. The new character is terrible. And even though it is kind of, I actually laughed out loud to when Cuphead was playing the piano and all of them were just looking at him like, that made me laugh. I gotta be honest, that did make me laugh. But, that doesn't make me like the episode, though. That was one part. You know what? But that only happened for less than 5 minutes. And the rest of the episode, I don't know how long it is, but all I know is that it's not that good. Oh, and it's episode 7, I'm pretty sure. I forgot to say that. This is episode 7. But yeah, I just could not like this episode. I'll watch it, of course, when I'm binge watching the entire series again, the entire season again, but other than that, I don't think I'll watch this on my own time. Maybe that one part whenever I'm looking for a moment to laugh, but I just can't like it, and I really hope if next time we see Lamp-Wig again like that, he gets karma or something like that. I know he got karma with the piano, but still, I want some more karma from this guy. More karma just served, and it was just awful. It was just awful in my opinion. Not awful, but not bad either. But it was actually close to bad. I'll tell you that. It was close to bad. It barely makes it into the okay section for me. Oh, by the way, spoilers for the episodes. I probably should say that in the beginning. I gotta stop forgetting that. But yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10 for this episode, honestly, it's not that good. It's not, but it's not bad either. So we're gonna give it a 5 out of 10. This probably would be lower, but it barely qualifies to be a okay episode. If it didn't, it would be a 4 right now, or something like that. But somehow it was able to qualify for an okay episode, but it's nowhere near good. Trust me, it's got a long way before it becomes a good episode, and that's why it is at, for me, the bottom of the list. Coming in at number 12, we have another awful episode, in my opinion. Not awful, not bad, but also not good either, you know? This was actually hard with this episode and Piano Lesson, but honestly, I think Piano Lesson is worse, so this episode has to be better than that, but it's super close, actually, super close. I honestly say it's a tie, but if I had to choose, Piano Lesson is worse than this episode, aka episode 4, Another Brother. Like, I just can't, man. Like, Bow Boy was such a good joke in season 1 and handled with care, but I did not like his character. I did not like this plot and the how does it go again? Oh yeah, Mugman, Mailman, Mailman, Mugman, Mugman, Mailman, Mugman, Mailman, Mugman. Remember how I said the Arabian Croaks episode was extremely repetitive? This happened for, I'm pretty sure, 3 minutes. That's what it felt like.
Mugman, Mailman, Mailman, Mugman, Mugman, Mailman, Mailman, Mugman, Mugman, Mailman, Mailman, Mugman, Mugman, Mailman, Mailman, Mugman, Mugman, Mailman, Mailman.
I just can't with this episode, really. Now, I know I'm saying a lot of bad stuff makes you like, okay, so this is a bad episode. It's not a bad episode, but it's also definitely not a good episode. Like, there's some good stuff in here, some funny stuff, and honestly a good ending in my opinion. But I just can't with this episode. It's a tie with Piano Lesson, so we already know the scoring. So for this episode, it's a 5 out of 10 once again. I would say this is a tie with Piano Lesson, but Piano Lesson is worse, so I gotta say that is the worst one. But just so you know, I'm not gonna be watching Another Brother on my own. If I'm binge watching the series again, or the show, I'll put it on, but I'm not gonna honestly enjoy it, and yeah, you won't catch me watching it on my own time unless I'm not binge watching the whole season. Also, Bow Boy's design, oh no, that's creepy. No, heck no. So that comes in at number 12. At least it's not the worst episode. Kind of ties with it though. Coming in at number 11 is episode 6, The Ice Cream Man. If there's any episode that is repetitive and annoying, it's this episode. And I really think that the reason why this isn't lower or the worst episode is because they do it in a better way, a funnier way, a way that actually makes me laugh. Like, so, stop playing that music, get out of here and fix your hat. that is repetitive, but it is also hilarious the way they do it. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, that's really the only reason why this isn't the worst episode. Everything else tells me this is repetitive, this has the problems. Repetitive, annoying, and not good. But they do it in a funny way, and that's what makes this not the worst episode. But it still has that terrible flaws. So honestly, I feel like the only option for this episode is for it to get the bronze medal of worst episode. But, you know, really what this is about is just Mugman trying to read this storybook, and, this Ice Cream Man keeps coming back with the music playing on. Like, now do you want to hear the flavor of the day? Like, man, take a hint. He keeps telling you, stop playing the music and fix your hat. Like, something annoying and hilarious at the end, though, was when he said, it hurts you. I'm here to thank you. I got a new hat. It's still crooked. It's still on the side. But it's a tiny bit smaller. And I gotta be honest, I could not stop laughing for a while. When he said, hey, is that Mugbeard? Is that the storybook I know? Or something like that? Mugbeard dies at the end. I literally could not stop laughing. And how Mugman was just like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, he dies. That actually made me laugh out loud. So even though it's repetitive at the beginning, at least it's not the worst episode. And I can actually watch this one, but I honestly feel like it doesn't qualify for the good. Honestly, the laughter, it can make me qualify for that, but it's a cringe laugh. Like, I was like, okay, that's funny, you know. But it's definitely, it's not the worst, but it's 100% not the best. So, as much as I laughed at it, doesn't make it a good episode. But at least it isn't a 5 out of 10. At least they figured out how to do it in a laughable way. So for episode 6, The Ice Cream Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this episode a 6.2 out of 10. This is a okay episode. Almost qualifies, but doesn't qualify for a good episode. And even though everything is repetitive, at least they do it in a funny way. But that doesn't make the episode itself a good episode. So I can actually maybe watch this on my own time. Probably gonna skip that beginning, because I'll be honest, that storybook, little plot with inside the storybook, I kind of don't like that. I kind of just like, oh, that feels so weird. Like, man, I honestly don't like it. So, it may not be a good episode, but hey, it's laughable, that's for sure. Anyways, so it comes at number 11. We have reached the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. So coming in at number 10 is an episode I really cannot stand because of one character, and I'm pretty sure you already know what episode this is now. So coming in at number 10 is episode 12, Lost in the Woods. Like, I think we all know why we can't like this episode, because we all know this isn't going to be in the top 5 or top 10. It's going to be in the top 5 of the worst one, because one character ruins the entire episode. Like, this one character ruins the entire episode, and we all know which character that is. Yeah, we looking at you, Cuphead. We looking at you. Cuphead in this episode was an absolute... He was an absolute, this title. He was absolute that title. Scratch the bottom part off. He's this guy. I'm sorry for the language, but he's such a, actually no, it's the other word. My bad. I'm still not gonna say it though. He's a butthole. Okay, butthole. Let's just say that. Cuphead, it just annoys me of how much he was in this episode. Now it may be funny. Maybe laughable, and I love how Mugman was like, I ain't too worried about it. But, I hate this guy. Like, Cuphead, this is the episode that makes me go, okay, yeah, you're not in my top 5 of favorite characters anymore. You're not. This episode really sunk him into the bottom of the worst characters. I would honestly put him in the evil almost. I would literally almost put him in the evil on the ranking scale of the episode, of this, like, whatever it is, good to evil. Because I just can't stand Cuphead. And he just ruins the episode for me. Like, the only reason why it's not lower is because the other episodes that we just covered, they're worse than this. And... yeah, and this episode, the episode itself, it's good. It's an alright episode. I like when he was in the woods trying to fend for himself. That was good. But it could have been better if Cuphead just was a better character. Also, Cuphead with the troll face, I think it's creepy already with the troll face. I don't need Cuphead doing it. Get out of here. Let's get to the rating, because I am done talking about this episode. Cuphead ruined it for me. It doesn't even qualify to be good. It makes me want to just... everything I'm saying right now makes me want to switch this out for Ice Cream Man, but we're going to keep it where it is. Number 10. Because Cuphead ain't going to ruin the entire episode for me. But anyways, on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, the episode itself, it is a 6.2 out of 10. But Cuphead, the episode is a 6.9, but with Cuphead, he just ruins the entire episode, really. He just ruins it, a lot of the stuff. So it gets me down to a 6.2. I would probably put it lower. I'm probably going to have to switch it out after I'm done recording this. But Cuphead just ruins this episode for me. And I really think I'm going to switch my list after this. I'm probably, if I ever do a review video on my list or anything like that, this episode's probably going to be lower now. Because after just trashing on this episode for a couple minutes, makes me realize this should be lower. Like, I don't know what else to put it, though. But we're going to keep it at number 10 for this video. So, Cuphead, you ruined this episode. It's a 6.2 right now, but it's probably going to be lower in the future. Maybe higher. Who knows? I don't care. All I know is that you won't catch me watching this episode because of Cuphead. I will watch it for itself if I want. But thanks to Cuphead, I won't be watching this a lot. And that comes at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the final episode, aka episode 13, The Devil's Pitchfork. Why is this at number 9? Top 5 worst episodes? Well, because there's nothing interesting. It shows the devil terrorizing people, of course. And the final last minutes with Cuphead with the pitchfork. Nothing really special, just that's really much it. That's really much it. So, yeah, that's why it's there. But it's okay, alright. So it is very close to being a good episode, but it's not. It's not. But it's very close. I can tell you that. And yeah, if these episodes that were before weren't as bad as they were, this would be lower. This would be lower, trust me, because there's nothing interesting about this episode except the cliffhanger when Devil takes Mugman. That's what makes me like, okay. Wait, no, I hate cliffhangers. I hate this episode. I hate it. Put it at number 13. No, all jokes aside, I still don't like cliffhangers, but episode itself wasn't good, but it was okay. It was okay. It's better than the other episodes we went over. And yeah, the reason why it's at number 9 is just because it's got nothing interesting. From what I remember, Devil terrorizes people, Cuphead steals a pitchfork. Very short episode in my opinion. It feels like a good lot. It's less than 10 minutes. It felt like that. That's all I remember much. Just that stuff. And, it's just boring. It's just a boring episode in my opinion. But hey, at least it's better than the other episodes we just covered. So for Devil's Pitchfork, I'm going to give this episode a 6.9 out of 10, This episode, it's boring. It is extremely boring. And honestly, it could be better if it was just more interesting. Like, I felt like this episode was less than 10 minutes, in my opinion. I don't even know how long it is. I haven't checked, and, yeah. But, hey, I can still watch it. I'm just gonna be bored watching it, probably. But anyway, so it comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have episode 3 of season 2, aka A High Seas Adventure. Now, I'm actually conflicted on if this is an okay episode or a good episode. Because when I first watched it, I was like, I don't know if I like this episode. Maybe it's okay, but I don't think I like it. But, watching it again when I was rewatching the season before, a while ago, I when I think about it more, too, I think, okay, the beginning is boring, but everything else, it seems alright. And that's probably it, because I'm conflicted if this is an okay episode or a good episode. Does it qualify for good? Does it qualify for okay? What is it? Because this episode with the pirate, pirate voice, good. Look, good. Characters, the monster. She's a jerk, but hey, that's she's a sea monster. What do you expect? Honestly, I think I made my decision now. Like, it barely qualifies for the good, in my opinion. But, hey, it would be lower if the other episodes were as bad as they were. Because over the time, I got, this episode better and better. But it's definitely not the best. I'll just tell you that. So for episode episode 3, a high seas adventure. Honestly, I'm gonna give this a episode a from a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Like, this barely qualifies for a good episode, but over the time, I have gotten to like this episode more and more and more, and talking about it makes me realize this isn't as bad as an episode as I thought. It's definitely not as bad as the other episodes we just went over, so honestly, I give it a 7 out of 10. That's the best it's gonna get. Probably gonna like it even more over time, because the characters are good, the story is alright, and even though that beginning for me is a boring beginning, hey, it's still a good episode at the end of the day, I guess. But it barely qualifies for that. So let me just remind you that, you got lucky, High Seas Adventure. You got lucky. But so anyways, it comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have episode 10. That's all, folks. You know, my little intro.
That's all, folks.
Da 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 da. Yeah, it's my intro. Only instead of that, it's rats. Okay, yeah, I did take the Looney Tunes intro, but it will be But my intro will be upgraded once we get to 100 subscribers. Maybe before, but I want 100 subscribers, please. That's the goal. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. And leave a comment down below of your ranking of the episodes. But anyways, back to the ranking of the episodes. So yeah, this episode, okay. Alright, so we officially got to the good episodes. That's for sure. This episode, it's not hilarious in my opinion. But it's also a good episode. Don't worry, don't get me wrong, it's a good episode. Like, the rat character, such a jerk, but fun time watching. Cuphead and Mugman actually trying to make Elder Kettle a surprise. I think they said it was for something, but whatever. They were trying to make him a surprise. They were just trying to make this cake, and that ending, honestly, that ending was funny. That ending was funny. Like, close the door, boys. And they're just like, do you not see what's around our house? The house is destroyed. I think there's a bigger problem than the door right now. Like, that was funny, and I just can't believe that rat was gonna blow Cup and Mug up. He had dynamite in their mouths, their cups, and everywhere. Like, man, I did not think I was gonna see that. A rat gonna commit murder? Dang, man, like, that show going that far? Okay. But anyways, yeah, so, the episode itself, too, it was a good episode. Mugman and Cuphead trying to make Elder Kettle a surprise, and this rat comes screwing in their lives, screwing with everything, They just try to get rid of it, and the funny things that they try to get the rat with, like that one with the dynamite and the trumpet, like when the milk was coming out of the cup, what Cuphead, and I was actually laughing, and I actually kept replaying it just to see the look, and I was like, that's some good animation. That's a good picture right there. So, yeah, this is definitely a good episode, but it's definitely not the best. But hey, it's better than the others we covered. That's the important thing here. So for that's all, folks, I'm going to give this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm honestly going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like, this was an alright episode. It was a good episode, but it could have been better, but I don't know. I don't know. It was a watch for fun episode, I guess you could say, because really I watch this for fun. Whenever I'm in the mood for like some random stuff and stuff like that, and I just want to watch something for fun, I'll put on this episode. No important meaning, no important story, just a fun, good time to watch, and that's really what this episode is. So hey, it's still a good episode at the end of the day, and that's what matters. So it gets a spot at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is episode 11, aka Say Cheese. This episode, I think I had it very much lower when I first watched this. Maybe higher. I can't remember. All I remember is that with all the other episodes here, I think this is a good spot for it. An okay spot. Like, this episode, Elder Kettle just trying to get a photo, which, let me just say, I love this side of Kettle. Like, the episode Dirt Nap in Season 1, that was Elder Kettle's episode, and I honestly did not like it. I don't remember liking it. what I remember saying is, well, this. And yeah, I hated that I did not like this episode. Like, man, I wanted some better, good episode for Elder Kettle, but Dirt Nat didn't do it for me. But luckily, they redeemed him better with a better episode, aka Say Cheese. And this one really has a lot of stuff going on. First off, he committed arson to some billboards. Wow. Okay, I get it though. I don't blame him. If I was him and that was me, I would not blame him. I would probably do the same thing. Like, oh my god, take that secret to your grave, Kettle. I bet that was his plan. But yeah, and when he took the picture, and then Cup and my man stopped fighting, like, and then saw the billboard, and like, for 3 seconds later, like, I actually laughed at the exact same time as them. Like, as soon as they started laughing, I started laughing too. Like, it was so funny. Like, that part was hilarious. And when they were laughing, and then the fire came, and they're like, and he was like, you saw nothing. Like, I could not stop laughing, and that's really the biggest positive of this episode. Kettle was hilarious. That part was absolutely hilarious. And, the photo thing, that was a good plot. And I liked how they made him a lot more sweet and family man, I guess you could say, just trying to get a photo for the family he loves. Like, that's really nice of you, Kettle. That's really nice. That is extremely nice. Even though you make deals to them and say you forget about them, like, even though that's not good. Hey, he's just trying to get a photo for the family he loves. And that's really sweet. That's really sweet. And over the time, I like this episode even more and laugh more. Like, it is such a good episode. So, I think it deserves a spot for number 6. So, for Say Cheese, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this episode a... Let me think about it. You know what? Screw it. We're going to give it an 8.1 out of 10. Like, the laughs, the hearts, the emotion, everything about it. I love this episode. Like, I don't think it's great, but it's a good episode. I like it, and that's what matters. And I think it deserves its spot at number 6. But coming in at number 5 is episode 8, Release the Demons. I honestly don't know why this is here. Like, I guess it's the right ranking for all the other episodes there is, I feel like. I guess that's it. Like, this is a good episode, especially with Dice. Dice makes this a lot more funny, and every time Devil destroyed his demons, his finest demons, I was like, oh no, again? Wait, they actually did it? Like, that was actually funny, and yeah, like, they try to be so dramatic, but in a hilarious way, and it worked. It worked, in my opinion. The maze thing, that was good, but that's what this is, another watch for fun episode, and that's the biggest positive, I guess, It was funny, it was good, and that's what matters. But really, what the biggest surprise was the ending where we realized Devil can't take Cuphead's soul anymore. Like, the soul contract is expired, and that actually made my jaw drop. Like, I was like, oh, wait, what? Like, I was actually surprised. I did not see that coming, and that's what really makes me like this episode. Like, I did not think that was going to happen, and if I ever replay this episode more, it's going to be for that number one reason. Like, I'm going to play this episode, go straight to the ending, and see that shocker again, because it was funny. And also, Stickler with the sweater. Oh my gosh. This is why I love that episode. This is why I love it. I think it deserves its spot at number 5, especially with that twist ending. Like, man, that's what really makes you like, this is a good episode, and I know it. So for episode 8, I hope I'm saying the right episode, for Release the Demons, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it an 8.8, This was a good episode. Like, it's not great and all, but it's an episode you watch for fun, and that twist, I'm always going to go straight to the ending to watch that twist. I'm going to watch it before I watch the entire episode, actually, if I ever want to watch this episode. Like, I love that twist. I love it. And yeah, I think it deserves its spot at number 5. But we have reached the top 5, and we're about to reach the top 3. So, let's talk about number 4. And coming in at number 4 is episode 1, the first episode that continued off the cliffhanger, aka Jailbroken. We all know Jailbroken. It was the first episode we saw as soon as season 2 came out. As soon as it came out, we went straight to the episode and watched the full thing in one sitting. And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It was a good episode. I had a great time with it. I liked how they continued the episode. Mugman was just trying to survive in prison, and Cuphead kept trying to escape, and it was a good episode. It was a good episode. And yeah, I feel like that's really much it of what I remember, though. But hey, it's still a good episode. An episode you watch just to realize what happens next and the things that happens in it. Like, that was good. That was good. But there's nothing really else to say that's positive or negative. Just that. That's really much the biggest thing about it and the biggest positive. They do it in the best way possible. A laughable way, too. And I love this episode. We have got to the episodes that I actually love. I think are great. They are amazing. So, that's amazing. That's amazing, in my opinion. So, yeah, this episode comes in at number 4. And the only reason why it's not higher is because the next episodes are even better, in my opinion. So, let's get into it. After rating this episode. So, for the Jailbroken, aka episode 1, we're going to give it, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're going to give it a 9 out of 10. This was a good episode. It was just a continuation to the final episode of season 1, and they did a good job. Laughable way, funny things, good plot, good story about Mugman and Cuphead. I think it was amazing that Cuphead just kept trying to escape while Mugman was just getting used to the prison life and just being a super nice self he is. So, yeah, I love this episode, and I hope you guys too. But yeah, it earns its spot at number 4. Alright, we have reached the top 3. We have done it, guys. So, what gets the bronze medal for best episode of season 2? So, coming in at number 3 for bronze medal of best episode. What is it, you may ask? Well, for number 3, it is episode 2, Charmed and Dangerous. I probably would put this at 2 if the next episode wasn't as good as it is. But yeah, Charmed and Dangerous has a lot more Chalice, and even though I love the character Chalice, the next 2 episodes, they're just better than Chalice in this episode. And that ending, honestly, it was kind of weird for me, you know, just the ghost thing and the angry mob. That's what really sets this episode back and puts it at number 3. Like, dang it. I don't like saying that. Like, Chalice was amazing in this episode, but the lying thing, and remember I said I was lying? Well, I was lying about lying. Like, that kind of annoyed me. But the thing when they talk about Elder Kettle and sleeping, like, the faces they all made looking at Elder Kettle, like, get her, get her. Wait, shh. That was actually funny. That was actually funny. Didn't make me laugh out loud, but it did make me smirk. Like, okay, alright, yeah, that was funny. Okay, maybe it did make me laugh out loud. I can't remember, but I chuckled. That's the big thing. And yeah, it is an amazing episode. It deserves its spot here. I honestly think it could go higher, but the next 2 episodes are just better. So, for now, it's gonna get its spot right here, right now. So, yeah, it gets number 3. Honestly, I would say the next 3 these 3 last 3 episodes we're gonna talk about, I think they get a tie. Honestly, they're very close to a tie. One of them might be a 10 out of 10 for me, in my only opinion. But yeah, they're very close to being a tie. But they just dang. And what really makes me know, okay, so I know how to place this now, though, is just that ending. Like, even though it chuckled for me in Elder Kettle, doesn't make me think this is the top 2. So for Charmed and Dangerous, we're going to give this, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It probably would be almost a 10 out of 10, but that ending really made me lose me a lot, and I didn't like that, but hey, it's still a great episode, and that's what matters. So, it gets a spot at number 3 with the bronze medal of best episode of season 2. But there's only 2 episodes left, so what's going to be the number 1? Is it going to be a Sweet Temptation, or is it going to be dead broke. Well, guys, for number 2, for silver medal of best episode of season 2, it's going to be Sweet Temptation, aka episode 5. Yeah, I love this episode. I would rewatch this all day, probably. Like, the creepy character with the bonbon and stuff like that, and this amazing world that is super sweet and awesome. I love it. I freaking love it. But, that's a big but. It's not as good as the next episode. But hey, just so you know, I would rewatch this in a heartbeat. I love this episode. I love Cuphead's trying to get over temptation, stuff like that. And yeah, that's what really makes me love this episode even more now. And I love it. I love it. I love this episode. Yeah, and plus, it just looks amazing too. That ending reminded me of Willy Wonka, and I hate Willy Wonka, so that ending could use some work. It's probably why it's at number 2. But that only means there's only one spot for number 1. But first, let's rate episode 2. Let's rate episode 5, aka number 2. So, for Sweet Temptation, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this episode a 9.8 out of 10. Like, that ending, it was a Willy Wonka ending. I hate Willy Wonka endings. Like, it was so creepy. Like, but hey, the rest of the episode, I love that episode. Like, man, that was amazing. And yeah, it deserves its spot at number 2. So congratulations, Sweet Temptation. You get the silver medal. But who gets the gold medal? Because you know what's better than number 2, right? Number 1. And what is number 1, you may ask? Well, coming in at number 1, there is only one option for me for coming in at number 1, getting the gold medal of best episode of season 2. It's gotta be, for me, Dead Broke, aka episode 9. This episode, I love it. Get that emoji on my face with the heart eyes. Like, I love this episode. Alright, you can get rid of it now. You can get rid of it. Okay, thank you. But yeah, so this was amazing. Chalice really is the biggest positive about this episode, and really is the reason why this is number 1. We see some more ghost powers of her. We see Cuphead, Mugman, and Chalice work together, which I just love to see. The trio, my favorite trio probably ever. And we see them pull pranks and stuff like that. And that ending, it was hilarious when everyone was just trying to get them into painting, like, and the Chalice one where she had her head stuck in the painting, like, and get it out, like, and runs. Like, man, there's so much positives to talk about this episode. And even though I'm saying it, like, it would be a 10 out of 10, you know, screw it. We're gonna give it. We're gonna say it. Spoiler alert. This episode is a 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna say it now. I love this episode. Chalice is the biggest positive to me. But if there is one negative I had to do, it was the fight thing. Like, I know it's part of the plot and it's like a couple seconds or something like that, but I'm probably going to skip over that part every time I turn on the episode. Other than that, 10 out of 10 episode. Better believe that. So, it comes in at number 1. You can really just thank Chalice for the episode. Like, I love it. I heart it. Best episode ever I ever seen in my life. Best episode. Maybe not in my life, but screw it, I just love it. I love it. I love it. Gold medal. So, we already know what I rate it, but we still gotta just say it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, screw it. We're gonna give it a 10 out of 10 episode. I freaking love Dead Broke. I love it. It's a banger episode. I'm gonna replay it all the time. And you best believe I am not gonna stop replaying it for a while. So this comes in at number 1 of Season 2 episodes. I guess I said it right. But there's my list. Tell me your list in the comments below. Your rankings in the comments below. Where would you put everything? And thank you guys so much for watching. We have ranked the Cuphead episodes. Get ready, because I think we're going to do a movie idea or a show idea next time. Unless it's October. And then we're going to review some horror movies and talk about horror stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys before the end of September, because then I want to make a movie idea, show idea that's not scary before we get into those, because October is going to have a lot of that stuff. Howllllaween, it's going to have a lot of horror stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for this being a long episode again, video again, but hey, it's a good video, and that's what matters, right? And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.
That's all, folks.